Hello, my name is Amina Huck, and this is a little bit about my community and the program we're working on. Picture my future community. Rivers, farmland, a few high-rises downtown, friendly community members, and only about an hour's drive from the state capital, with a population of 110,000 who wouldn't want to live in this idyllic community. From my internet research, community scan, and interviews with social worker and collaboration with colleagues, I was able to gain a better understanding of this community. Having grown up in the area, I also have a little bit of background knowledge, but my research revealed some interesting details. The rate of people who graduate from high school, 94%, while the national average is 82%. The crime rate is also about half the national average at 176 per 100,000 people, and the median income is 65,000, slightly higher than the national average of 52,000 yearly for a household. So what's the problem, right? Rochester is 87% white, only 4% African American, 6% Asian, and 3% Hispanic. That in itself is not a problem. However, the number of minorities living in this community is alarmingly low, even for state statistics. Do they feel unwelcome or unsupported? Have you ever felt like you didn't belong? I have. And when you feel alone, unwanted, and uncared for, it's difficult to feel like you matter, that your voice matters, and it's difficult to speak up. Community members can often feel that refugees and minorities use resources that could be better spent elsewhere, and that they contribute to crime rates and poverty levels. This misconception needs to be remedied. Some obstacles to overcome with this problem. Stereotypes and misconceptions about others are rarely ever spoken aloud, let alone admitted to. So how can we address something that remains mutually unspoken? A common misconception is that refugees and minorities utilize resources without contributing anything to the community. Minorities can often be filled with self-consciousness about how they act, speak, and interact with others. Many community resources are available to help refugees and minorities in Rochester, but they're often underutilized by those that need them most. This might be due to lack of transportation, being unaware of the resources, and feeling embarrassed to utilize these resources. Many resources are run by organized religious groups, which can intimidate those of other faiths. One of the possible solutions, which I ultimately chose, features ethnic tales told by storytellers from different ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds. These storytellers will share their favorite childhood tales and folklore and contribute to literacy levels for all students in the community. After the story session, there will be information provided highlighting a resource or community program each week. And then some weeks we'll change it up a bit by using a sporting event or an art project that's based on that ethnic tradition. I thought that one of the other possible solutions I thought about was a community unity march, which ended by engaging in meaningful, open conversation over a bridge. And I thought it was a great way to bridge the communication gap and show unity within the community. This would promote community togetherness and cooperation while bridging communication gaps and helping the whole community improve health through some exercise. I like this program so much, I decided to make it an annual event linked to my main weekly program. Potential solutions range from support groups, organized community services, making posters, and creating discussion forums. But the human-centered design approach is based on creating a solution to a problem as viewed from the perspective of the end user. So brainstorming, discussion, and feedback inspired me with the idea of a community service program, and I thought that it would be a challenge to the stereotypes, and also it would allow those community members who are marginalized to give something back, and I felt it would empower them to make a difference and boost their confidence. After my interview, I realized how difficult it can be to get an education and blend into the community. And that's when I decided to pitch an idea to the community that minorities are not a drain on resources, but an investment in the future growth and development of the community. And then full-on brainstorming sessions garnered a lot of different ideas. And I grouped ideas together and compared and contrasted my top 5. And you can find out more about the ideation process by clicking on the ideation link under the About Me tab. Finally, gaining final feedback after deciding about the story hour, that it was low cost and high yield and created a family-friendly environment. Colleagues and brainstorm partners suggested expanding the platform beyond reading and literacy to broaden the appeal, and that's when I decided to add the sporting events and arts and craft projects. And it's not only something that would appeal then to readers, but also kinesthetic learners and other types of motivation styles. When I first thought of this idea, I was thinking about the community members who might be feeling left out, and how nobody likes to feel left out. But after research and investing time and effort into developing a possible solution, I feel more confident in my program and more confident in myself that I'm the uniquely qualified individual to fill this gap and bridge communication. I'm a mother, a wife, a student, and a technical support advisor. But more importantly, I'm a human who has lived in different cultures and understands the process of gaining cultural fluency. Several of my jobs have included bias examination, asking me to look at my intentional, unintentional biases and reflect how different communication styles might be perceived. Coupled with my strong communication skills and calm demeanor, I have all the necessary tools to help bridge communication gaps between culturally different individuals. Over the past year, the country has become divided, and neighbor dislikes neighbor because of political leanings, race, ethnicity, gender, or any other perceived difference. But I still believe that different is beautiful and interesting, and I'm convinced that many of you out there still believe that our differences make us unique, but that we can still be friends at the end of the day. And I need your help. I can't change it on my own, and I think if each of us makes that small effort to celebrate uniqueness, embrace difference, and learn from one another, who knows how far we can go? Who knows what we can accomplish? So here's how you can help. I want you to click the link for the Help Bridge Communities that you see on this page. Click on it and get in touch with me. First, I'll add your name to the list of people who celebrate diversity. And if you want more information about starting a local chapter of Bridging Communities, I will add you to my email list, keeping you updated on our progress, giving tips for getting started, and providing resources for making your Bridging Community chapter just the right fit for your community. If you'd like to volunteer your time or fund our resources, I will send you a thank you card signed by our Story Hour children and tellers, and you will receive a schedule of events to let me know when you're available to help out. Just remember, the benefits of this program are many. Youth literacy rates will improve by spurring interest in literature, marginalized community members will find a voice and feel empowered, and those community members who need help will be informed about the resources, and cross-cultural communication will happen, challenging stereotypes and improving the community. Oh, and just one last thing. Thank you. Thank you for watching, thank you for caring, and thank you for being willing to make a difference by clicking on that link and showing your support.